The word on the street is that Jeezy is leaving Jeanine Mei because of her uncontrolled toxic temper. Whatever the reason, there is a lot at stake, especially money. We're bringing you the lowdown on that and more. Today, Jeezy's net worth is around $18 million, and Forbes will have us know that it is increasing at a rate of $5 million per year. Most of his annual income is derived from his music rights and his real estate investments. But life wasn't always so moonshine and roses for Jeezy. Jeezy was born into poverty and grew up in a small town located in the heart of South Georgia's Black Belt region. From a young age, he grasped the harsh reality that life wouldn't offer him any easy breaks, nor were any charitable handouts coming his way. If he aspired to achieve anything in life, he understood that he would need to take matters into his own hands. And that's precisely what he did. A few years later, while living in Macon, Georgia, he forged friendships with several members of the Crip gang. He eventually became associated with the Crips and initiated his affiliation with Kinky B. This connection played a pivotal role in advancing his career. In 1994, Jeezy faced a 9-month stint at YCA, a boot camp located in Fort Stewart, Georgia, due to his involvement in narcotics possession, but more about that in a moment. 4 years later, in 1998, he established the label imprint Corporate Thugs Entertainment, marking a significant milestone in his journey. But Jeezy's troubled past wasn't quite behind him yet. On March 11, 2005, Jeezy faced legal trouble following an alleged shooting incident involving some of his associates in Miami Beach, Florida. He was initially charged with 2 counts of carrying a concealed weapon without a permit. However, these charges were dropped by prosecutors 2 months later due to a lack of sufficient evidence. And then came the event that had him change his life around. In the early hours of September 29, 2007, Jeezy's car was struck by a taxi while crossing Peachtree Street in Atlanta, outside Justin's, a club owned by Sean Combs. The incident was reported in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and Jeezy stated that it had given him a new appreciation for life. 1 year later, in September 2008, he dropped an album that resonated deeply with a generation seeking societal transformation. J. Jeezy Jenkins, with his third album titled The Recession, seamlessly blended the rugged Southern anthems that had defined his style with incisive social commentary. With 2 platinum albums under his belt and endorsements from industry giants like Jay-Z, Jeezy shook off his troubled past and solidified his status as a genuine superstar. Jeezy recognizes that not all moguls share the same path to success. This is why he believes that the narrative of his journey likely connects more with the everyday person than the stories of billionaires such as Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, or Elon Musk. Now, he's even written a book with advice on how to be successful. It's called Adversity for Sale, You Gotta Believe, and according to Jeezy, it provides more practical insights for achieving success for the typical American compared to most get-rich-quick literature. In the book, Jeezy embraces his roots as a young hustler on the streets of Atlanta. But he emphasizes that even during those early days, he had a clear vision of where he wanted to ultimately land and how music would serve as a vehicle to help him reach those goals. Throughout his journey, he has emerged as one of the most influential figures in the world of hip-hop. However, Jeezy underscores that he has always possessed an entrepreneurial mindset. He's achieved success in various arenas, including real estate, business ownership, and philanthropy. According to him, rap just happened to be the initial opportunity that opened doors for him. Jeezy has dated some notable women, but then that's to be expected, right? For a while, Jeezy and Keisha Cole were the king and queen of Atlanta's music industry, with Jeezy being a native of the city and Cole having relocated to Atlanta from Oakland. The two were in a relationship from 2005 to 2007. Interestingly, they managed to keep their relationship details concealed throughout their time together, a choice attributed to Jeezy's preference for privacy. It turns out Keisha even asked him to marry her, got him a ring and all that jazz. But he told her he wasn't in the right place for such a commitment. He was focused on sorting his life out, getting his finances in order, and looking after himself and his loved ones. Then, over a few months, Jeezy underwent a complete transformation. He shifted from his previous image as a tough, streetwise gangsta to presenting himself as a refined gentleman exuding poise and class. Imagine that! In cases like this, significant personal changes often raise questions about the influence of a romantic partner. And in this case, the woman in question was none other than Khloe Kardashian. Everybody completely brushed off the rumors at first. It was hard to envision such a pairing. However, when photographs of the two surfaced, it was clear for everyone to see they were undoubtedly an item. Then, Jeezy made an appearance on The Real, and that proved to be another fork in the road for the rapper. In 2021, 1 year after getting engaged, Emmy Award-winning TV host and activist Jeanine Mei and Grammy-nominated recording artist, entrepreneur, and philanthropist Jeezy were married in an intimate ceremony at their home in Atlanta. And you guessed it, the couple met when he was a guest on her daytime talk show. Sadly, after 2 years together, Jeezy has initiated divorce proceedings with Jeanine Mei. We don't know exactly what's in the prenup, or if there even is a prenup, but what we do know is this: Jeezy could lose a lot. And if he thought he would quietly return to his pre-Jeanine life, that's probably not going to happen, at least not financially. According to court documents, Jeezy stated that he and the former host of The Real are currently separated and their marriage is deemed irretrievably broken. While Jeezy may be unlucky in love, this successful entrepreneur has a car collection that matches his diverse styles and tastes. It includes a Rolls-Royce Wraith, a Ferrari 488 Spyder, and a Ferrari California. The Rolls-Royce Wraith is the cream of the crop, though. The British luxury Grand Tourer is celebrated for its graceful design, opulent interior, and robust performance. It packs a commanding 6.6-liter V12 engine and commands a price tag of $350,000. It's a far cry from his tumultuous and impoverished youth. Jeezy's real estate habit is really just that, a habit, albeit a great one. Instead of splurging on gold chains and other expensive rap paraphernalia, this artist buys himself a property as a birthday gift every year, and he's done so for the longest time. He even boasts that he probably owns half of Atlanta by now. He made his first real estate move in 2007 when he acquired a 2-story penthouse within the Phoenix on Peachtree condo complex for $1.32 million. This expansive 3,140 square foot space featured 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a sizable custom closet designed to accommodate his extensive collection of shoes. Today, he lives in Atlanta in a residence that boasts 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. The property offers an array of splendid and generously sized living spaces, encompassing a well-appointed kitchen, living room, family rooms, and more. Additionally, it boasts numerous exquisite windows that provide breathtaking views of the surroundings. But what is this phenomenal artist's secret sauce? How does his thinking influence his mega success? To answer this question, Jeezy always looks back on a period in his youth when he participated in the Youth Challenge program in Fort Stewart, Georgia. He entered the program after years of involvement in drug dealing and car theft, and it was far from being a walk in the park. The program taught Jeezy structure, and it removed him from his previous environment, leading him to become even more focused than before. He realized that he had thought he was focused, but in reality, he lacked a concrete plan and was merely going through the motions. So, while many of his childhood friends succumbed to a life of drugs and gangsterism, Jeezy started ascending the ladder of success. Jeezy offers straightforward advice that serves as his personal mantra. According to him, the critical factor is to never let overconfidence prevent you from questioning things you may not fully understand. If you do, you'll never learn anything. Throughout his illustrious musical career, Jeezy has been an emblem of determination and relentless hustle. But the studio isn't the sole place where this rap legend dedicates his effort. He shed as much as 60 pounds by recommitting himself to the gym and making dietary adjustments by eliminating certain beloved staples. And he's also developed a passion for long-distance running. In 2018, he participated in the world's largest 10K run alongside Atlanta Mayor Keisha Bottoms. In the process, they raised funds for various charitable causes, including the Atlanta Track Club's Kilometer Kids, Jeezy's own Street Dreams Foundation, and the city's Youth Scholarship Program. This guy really does it all. He can play tough guy if he needs to, be streetwise if the occasion calls for it, step onto the stage as a mega entertainer, run 10K street races, and more. But the real Jeezy is a philanthropist at heart. If you get that, you will understand his music.